Thank you.
Order, call the member for Corangamite.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I have a message for our nation and for the people I represent in the federal electorate of Corangamite. We are fighting for jobs. We are fighting for a bright future in manufacturing, and we are fighting for opportunity. And frankly, the comments that we've just heard from the member for Lawler, who I note is leaving the chamber, obviously not wanting to stay around to hear what we have to say, is that we do have the answers. That's why the Australian people rejected Labor at the last election. Some of the comments that were just made were utterly offensive. We all acknowledge that everyone in this chamber, on both sides, wants jobs, but the problem with Labor is that they failed. For workers and their families of Toyota and Holden and Ford, this is a very tough time. As a government, we are determined to build a strong and prosperous economy, a safe and a secure Australia. We are determined to abolish the carbon tax, the mining tax, to end the waste, to slash red tape and to get the nation's finances back on track. Let us never forget Labor's legacy to this nation. Over the forward estimates, we are staring in the face of $123 billion in cumulative deficits and government debt of $667 billion. As economic managers, the people of Australia have given Labor a big F. That's F for fail. Our job as a government which understands the importance of responsible economic management is to get our country back on track. Part of that challenge, Mr Deputy Speaker, is to build the confidence of business to invest, to grow, to employ. Labor destroyed that confidence with its jobs-destroying carbon tax, its jobs-destroying mining tax. Labor destroyed that confidence with its waste and incompetence. I also want to draw your attention, Mr Deputy Speaker, to the words of the member for Corio, who claims that we will be a dumber nation when we stop making cars. These words are typical of what we are hearing from the other side, the negativity, the dragging down of our nation. They drag down the fine men and women who work in our auto industry, who, with retraining and support, which is what we will do, will have the skills and the know-how to go from strength to strength. This negativity does us enormous damage. Under Labor, let's not forget, 130,000 jobs were lost in manufacturing. And let's talk about jobs under Labor. In my region, Ford, 510 workers from Ford lost their job under Labor. They say they had a plan. They monumentally failed to save Ford. Their plan simply did not work. Boral, 90 jobs lost. Fonterra, 130 jobs. And let me assure you that the carbon tax on manufacturing was one of the major factors, because it drives up the cost of energy and that drives up the cost of manufacturing. So what are we doing? We have a $100 million growth fund underpinned by the work of the Industry and Manufacturing Economic Review Panel. We are focused on the challenges, but we are focused on what we can do. Investing in advanced manufacturing, food processing, IT, communications. In my region, we have the Geelong Region Innovation and Investment Fund, a $24.5 million fund directly there to grow jobs. We are building the roads of the 21st century, investing in infrastructure, duplicating the Princes Highway, upgrading the Great Ocean Road, investing in science and innovation and agriculture through the initiatives like the Geelong Centre for Emerging Infectious Diseases, the Golden Plains Intensive Agricultural Precinct. We have a bright future in manufacturing. Do not allow Labor Party to drag our nation down. We are doing some amazing work in Geelong in carbon fibre production. We are bringing the NDI, and yes, the NDIA was an initiative, of course, of the previous government, that the headquarters of the National Disability Insurance Agency are coming here to Geelong. Today, Deputy Speaker, I was with a delegation headed by the City of Greater Geelong Mayor, Councillor Darren Lyons. We are fighting tooth and nail for a big part of the Land 400 Defence project, a $10 billion project. We are not giving up. We are fighting tooth and nail. We have a great deal of confidence, and through our policies we will build the jobs of the future. We will not be dragged down by Labor's negativity. We will not be dragged down by the way that they are telling us that they don't have the solutions I can tell you what, after the last 6 years, Mr Deputy Speaker, it has been a monumental failure, and we are working very hard to turn that around.